What's going on out there, man? What's up? What's up? What's up? It is the homie, Mainman Mademan in the building. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing, man. Yes, sir. Once again, it is on. Once again, it is an honor and a pleasure. I repeat, an honor and a pleasure to be on here with all of the boxing fam and the boxing fans. It's Friday night, so you know what that means. It's our time now, man. Random late night stream on a Friday night from Mainman Mademan. What is going on? That's 2020 for you. I'm coming on through, fam. You know, I thought I had a couple quick minutes, you know what I'm saying? I thought I'd come on and chill out with everybody tonight, man, and just kind of spit some boxing. Whoever shows up, shows up. I know it's late on a Friday night. If you can't catch this live, you know, catch it on the playback. If you got to pull an early exit, you already know, thumbs up on the way out if you did not hit it on the way in. Much love to everybody, man. Everybody, especially everybody in Mainman Mademan's boxing forum over there on Facebook. Just let me make sure my audio is good to go, and I'll be ready to rock and roll. Hold on. Yeah. We sounding good, man. We sounding good. So, like I said, man, we just gonna kind of pick at some topics like we always do when we talking boxing. You know, nothing too heavy, man. Boxing been kind of slow. You know, a little tired of the Earl Spence Jr. and the Terrence Crawford talk over and over and over again. So I'm gonna take a little break from that if it's all good. If y'all want to know how I feel about the latest updates, just check the last video. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, we just gonna talk boxing. Whatever's cracking in the sport, whatever come across my desk, we just gonna chop it up about it. You know what I'm saying? So if it's all good, don't forget, if you gotta pull that early exit, thumbs up for the fam. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna jump right into their boxing history. Salute to the homie Chin Smoke in the building. I see you, family. I see you, man. Let's get right to the good stuff, huh? Shall we? Today in boxing history, we staying true to this, fam. We staying right here. We gonna do this each and every episode, man. I told y'all, dog, I'm staying with it. Renee, what's up with your family? What's up, man? Salute to the homie Renee Box Young in the building on a Friday night. Salute, family. What's up, man? Watch out, man. You got Canelo in your title. I seen that comment you left me, man. Boy, them Canelo-ites, they been coming for me, man, but I'm ready for them. I'm ready for them all day. Oh, and we definitely gonna talk Canelo in this stream, man. But let's get to the boxing history, man. Today in boxing history, what's going on, man? What is today? Today is December 11th, 2020. On this day in boxing history, that's funny you say that, Renee, about Mexico, man, because this thing in boxing history has to do all about that. Today is the anniversary of Bobby Chacon versus Rafael Limon. And today was the day that this saga between these two fighters right here, they fought 4 times, fam. 4 times. It says that the Chacon versus Limon series of boxing fights between Bobby Chacon and Rafael Limon was a rivalry that made history in the sport. Many sport historians consider the Chacon-Limon to be among boxing's fiercest rivalries, right up there with Ali Frazier, Ali Norton, Barrera Morales, Vasquez Marquez, Gatti Ward, Louis Schmeling, Duran de Jesus. It's up on that level with some of the top rivalries in boxing history. These dudes fought 4 times, and in each and every fight, it was a war. Dirty war, man. They went back and forth. Now, let me give a little backdrop on this. The thing that makes this so significant is these were 2 Mexican or Latin fighters, you know what I mean? But you got, during this time, there was a major separation in the Latin world. When a lot of the southern states, when the Americans took over a lot of the land that was owned by Mexico at the time, and a lot of the Mexicans that were down there became, I guess, Mexican Americans, or AKA Chicanos. Well, this bred a little bit resentment between the Mexicans in the Latin world and the Chicanos here, because the Chicanos started to speak English, and this bred resentment. So this led into the sporting world, of course, where you had Rafael Limon out of Mexico and Bobby Chacon, who was a Mexican American, but I think he was out of California. You know what I mean? So this bred a resentment between these two. So of course, each and every fight between these two were very, very contentious. Now, in the first fight, where it says that Bobby Chacon, and both of these men were basically just moving up to 130 pounds. The first fight between these two went down December 7th, 1975. It was a hell of a war. Both men just getting to 130 pounds, ready to prove themselves and prove their name. It was a hell of a fight. Rafael Limon won on a 10-round decision. Fast forward to the second fight. Chacon Limon 2 took place April 4th, 1979 in LA. At this point, both fighters were already ranked in the junior lightweight division, 130-pound division, and at stake was the NABF super featherweight title. So at this time, they're now moving up through the ranks of 130 pounds. And it said at the time for the winner of the second fight, they would have gotten the opportunity to go forward and face Alexis Arguello. This is crazy, man. Now, this particular fight ended in the 7th round because of a headbutt. When it went to the cards, they called it a draw. A draw. So both men right on the verge of a title fight with Alexis Arguello, and boom, they get into a fight. They get into a draw. You know what I mean? Chacon Limon 3. By the time the third fight took place, both fighters had lost to Alexis Arguello. So they both got an opportunity, but they both lost. And at this point, they were on the losing end. And so this third fight represented both of these men basically trying to get back on their feet, trying to get back into title contention. They wanted to become lightweight title contenders. While Chacon had already been a world champion, he was known to enjoy the sweet life, having bought a mansion and some Bentley cars when he was a world featherweight champion. So down when he was at 26, he was already champion, Chacon. And he got used to the sweet life, it was said. These were two warriors. So you couldn't get used to the sweet life and get into a fight with this guy, Limon. You got to be ready and battle tested. You know what I'm saying? Chacon Limon 3 came on March 21st, 1980. The two rivals fought a brisk pace, connecting with hard punches and refusing to change the fighting styles that both displayed throughout their careers. Another close fight. It went into the later rounds. It says that the ultimate Chacon's punches provided to be the more telling than Limon. So Chacon takes the third one. And here we are to the fight that represents today, December 11th, the fourth fight, which was the last fight. Now, at this point, they've already been in this division. They've been trying to kick up dust. You know what I'm saying? At this point, Chacon has already been a world champion. Limon is starving at this point. You know what I mean? The last fight was the only fight of all four of their fights that actually involved a world title. So it also says that Chacon Limon 4 was the only bout that had a world title, and this fight was held on December 11th, 1982. So both men trying to get back to a world title had a vacated title right there in front of them for their fourth fight. Now, Chacon at this point was going through some issues with his wife right before this fourth fight. It says that meanwhile, he had insisted on boxing, dreaming he would become a champion. The decision to go on with boxing caused his wife, Valerie, to commit suicide just months before the Chacon Limon 4 fight. So at this point, by him, Chacon deciding to continue with boxing against his wife's wishes, this caused her to commit suicide right before the fourth fight. Some say this is the thing that edged on Chacon in this theatrical, I repeat, theatrical fourth fight. In conclusion, this was a heck of a fight. Limon began to fight quick, combining bolo punches and uppercuts to the body, dominated the first few rounds. 20 seconds remaining in the third round, Limon scored a knockdown via a stiff straight left counter, which caught Chacon, who was knocked off balance and touched both gloves to the canvas. Chacon received the 8 count, but got up quickly, seemed to not be hurt that bad. And after this round, Chacon began a comeback, trading punches toe-to-toe with the champion. Chacon also started to dig to his foe's body and pace, and the pace began to tell on Limon. To make an all conclusion, Chacon then proceeded to mount a rally during the last 5 rounds. His body punches made an effect on Limon, who began to backpedal for the rest of the fight. So Chacon started to come on late, took the last 5 after being knocked down. It says that the key moment in the fight came when 10 seconds to go in the final round. Chacon struck suddenly, connecting with the right to Limon's chin, sending Limon to the floor. And when Limon got up, a mandatory standing 8 count was carried out, which left only 2 seconds left in the fight. And then the fight was over. Take in mind, Chacon won that fight. The two of the judges gave Chacon that fight. He won it by 1 point. And it was because of the knockdown that happened with the remaining 10 seconds left. One judge gave it to him 142 to 141. Another one gave it to him 141 to 140 without the knockdown with just 10 seconds left to go. After 3 fights at this point, grueling fights, finally got a world title. The man just lost his wife right before this. She committed suicide. With 10 seconds left, he knocks down Limon and he takes the world title. Unbelievable. 4 guerrilla wars between 2 fighters throughout the history of boxing, man. This is one of the greatest rivalries in boxing. I challenge everyone that's into the sport heavy to go back. YouTube got some of these fights and go back and watch these 2. They paved the way. They paved the way for a lot of Latin fighters. These were 2 of the top from back in the day. Give them a look. They had, I'm telling you, all 4 fights, man, you're going to be thoroughly entertained. Facts, you know what I'm saying? All day. D-Lo, what's up with you, fam? D-Lo 44 Boxing is in the building, you know what I'm saying? What's up, family? What's going on, man? Chin Smoke says, yo, making me want to watch these fights after the live. I'm telling you, Joe, they went back and forth. I caught 3 of them so far. And man, oh man. You talking about a back and forth war and everything that it meant at the time. You're talking about the Mexican Americans rooting for the Mexican American and of course the Mexicans rooting for Limon. Man, what a backdrop. What a backdrop, fam. All right, let's get to something more modern. Let me get to the other screen over here. Let me get this music up out of y'all ear. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to do it with the music today. And I'll be right in front of y'all in just a few minutes, man. But like always, man, y'all know how we do when we talking boxing, man. We going to start off light and get more heavier as the program progresses. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, we're going to end up at Pulev and Joshua. Can't wait to dig into that. Haven't talked about that all week, man. So let's get right to it. Matter of fact, let me just get right in front of y'all right now, man. You already know. You know what I'm saying? Boom. So let's get this already cracking, man. So first up, where should we go first? Should I go to this? Nah, I'm gonna leave that alone. It's an Earl Spence story. I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to leave the Earl Spence stuff alone for right now. It was a story that I'm thinking about talking about his next 3 fights, Porter, Ugas, and Pacquiao, but we covered that earlier. We'll just kind of move on beyond that. Let's talk about this real quick. Floyd Mayweather. There's a rumor floating around, Sports Talk Bible or whatever, Sports Bible is talking about this. I don't know if this is a rumor. I don't know if this is true or not. Now, this Floyd Mayweather thing with Paul Jakes or whatever his name is, you know what I mean? It's saying that Floyd Mayweather might be paying this kid in clout. You know what I'm saying? Like real spill, like literally in clout. I don't know. They're saying that it's going around that possibly that Floyd Mayweather is going to be walking away with about 50% of the pay-per-view buys and about 5 million pounds guaranteed. Not to mention that this Paul Jakes dude is only going to make 200,000 and only get about 5% of the pay-per-view buys. But says that he wants to do this because of clout. Man, I tell you like this, if that is the case, if that proves to be any truth, this is the dumbest kid I've ever seen ever. You know what I mean? If you allow Floyd Mayweather to dupe you and only getting 5% of the pay-per-view buys, you got to be the dumbest YouTuber out there in the world. I'm only doing this because of clout. He only doing this because of clout and clicks. Man, that don't make no sense. You better get that paper, champ. Floyd Mayweather gonna eat good. They saying that when it's all said and done, he'll be in the 8-figure territory while you sitting there getting clout. That don't make sense, man. That don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? Ragged Ape Evo, late in. Has Mainman made his prediction yet? Not yet, family. We ain't got there yet. We getting real close, though. We getting real close. So I don't know, man. I just want to know if there's any truth to this. I mean, there's one article floating around about it. I saw it. It came across my lap just a few minutes ago, right before I hit play. And I'm like, yo, man, I know Floyd Mayweather ain't about to do this. If he do this, this is the dumbest YouTube I've ever seen. Paul Jakes, you're dumb, bruh. You getting worked. You getting worked, man. You just giving Floyd all the money to do whatever he wants. You just want the clout. You just want the clicks. You just want everybody to come to your YouTube channel and know who you are. Man, you dumb as a brick if you think that Floyd Mayweather will walk away with that. I'm just saying. I hope there's no truth to it. Lawrence Williams in the building. What's up, family? What's up with you, man? What's going on, fam? What's up, man? Canelo, the pound-for-pound king, will be back in the ring in 8 days. We going to get there. We definitely going to talk about Canelo all day. But I just was wondering about this. I was hoping y'all could maybe chime in, and maybe somebody heard something different. But this is the news that's going around about this little circus. You know what I mean? They're saying that Floyd going to eat 50% of the pay-per-view. That is crazy. I'd have been like, Floyd, never heard of you, champ. Ain't no way, no how. You know what I'm saying? Not at all. Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's talk about this story real quick. This Adrien Broner situation. I'm only going to spend a minute on this real quick. Now, I know y'all heard the news about Adrien Broner. Adrien Broner getting caught up. That assault case that he had that played out a few months back. Well, it came back and it caught up with him, according to the news that's out here. They're saying that, according to the Las Vegas Review-Journal, a Las Vegas judge has now approved a judgment of $4 million against Adrien Broner. The lawsuit that is connected to a 2017 incident where Broner struck the individual, Carlos Gonzalez, on the Las Vegas Strip. Gonzalez claims that the punch had knocked him unconscious, chipped his tooth, and inflicted him with injuries. I'm going to stop right there. And they're saying that the reason it just kind of went on the way it did is because Adrien Broner just let it go. Just after this all went down and he went to, I guess, his initial court date or whatever, he just never showed up again, never cared no more about it. There's another case that he also had with the young lady that he just had a judgment against him for $800,000, and it said the same thing in that situation where basically Adrien Broner just let it go. He just let it go. It says, and that was a case that went down in Ohio. It says that in a similar manner to the case in Ohio, it's been claimed that Broner had dodged service of the lawsuit on numerous occasions, which prompted District Judge Adriana Escobar to grant a motion for default judgment on Tuesday. Now, normally I don't talk about this. We've heard Adrien Broner always getting in trouble. It's just something we used to by now. Usually I don't. The only reason I brought this one up because I think this is very significant. Now, Adrien Broner's been having his issues all through the years. That's Adrien Broner. But a $4 million lawsuit, bro? A $4 million lawsuit, bro? These are the type of stories you don't want to hear. It's one thing to hear about some chick who want to come out and say, hey, you owe me $200,000 for grabbing my ass or something stupid like that. But $4 million, bro? For real? And you on IG talking about something you ran through $30-40 million and this, that, and the third, and you for a $4 million judgment against you, man. You know damn well Adrien Broner ain't got it like that. He running around looking forward to his fight that he's supposed to be having in February. This is bad. Adrien can't lose. I mean, we've heard it before, but this, bro, you can't lose at all, bro. You was already in pocket. It was already stories and stuff out here about you being in pocket to PBC for whatever reason. You running around talking about they owe you $10 million. There's a reason they held on to that money, man. And I'm hoping it's for the good. I'm hoping it's one of them Allen Iverson situations where somebody looked out for you and put it into an account you can't touch until you get to a certain age or something like that. Because the way this thing is going, it ain't good, y'all. It ain't going in a good direction. It ain't getting no better. We've seen this story before play out several times in the sport, many times. And I don't want to see it for this dude, man. He needs to win. Can't say PBC, PBC at once a time. You can say, hey, they rushed him. They moved him too fast. They put too many glitz and glamours in front of him, and it ruined him. That was many years ago. We passed that point now. We can't keep banging that drum. Since then, PBC has tried to always get him back into position, and he's failed. They gave him a Manny Pacquiao fight, for crying out loud. He was the first one over there to get it. He was the first one to grab the Manny Pacquiao fight. He was one of the first ones. He was the first one after Floyd Mayweather that was supposed to take the mantle for pay-per-view king or the next one or whatever you want to call it. Walk through the golden door, whatever it is. He was supposed to be that, man. And now my man got a $4 million judgment against him, dog. Like, who he going to fight to get that money? Ivan Red Cat. I hear Adrien Broner running around on this social media. I'm going to be rich after my next fight. I'm going to be rich. You know what I'm saying? But I just, it really pains me. I don't take no joy or no pleasure in seeing Adrien Broner go through this, man. Dog, you can't lose. If you lose, bro, what else you gonna have, bro? You can't lose. Like, no more. If there ever, there's been many, Let your hands go. We always yelling at the screen. Yeah, let your hands go. You got to fight. Take your career. Bro, if no one's ever talked to you at any point in your damn career, man, this is the time, bro. You better be listening. I don't know where Pops went. Pops rolled out. Pops ain't brushed your hair in about 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 fights. Where Pops go? Man. And it's really unfortunate, man, because kid with so much promise. One of the reasons I started even uploading was because of Adrien Broner. I always go back to that story. Adrien Broner, man, he at the time when he had boxing on fire, man, I was liking the kid. I was liking him. Just totally went left. And now look at this, man. He in court talking about some Tank Davis support. You know it's a lie, but Tank Davis supporting him and all this stupid. He ain't got no money and this ain't going well, y'all. And you can't blame nobody right now but Adrien Broner. Can't blame nobody else. There's no leave a young brother alone or well, you know, everybody make a mistake type. No, we beyond that. We way beyond that. Everybody slips and falls. Everybody gets a second chance. We beyond second chances. Way beyond second chances. And what we see here, it ain't looking good. He cannot lose. You know, my thing is, if he can win his next fight, and especially and look good doing it, you win your next fight. You got a Danny Garcia fight right there, champ. That fight is very possible, and I think will happen. It could happen. You got a Danny Garcia fight right there. Beat Red Cat, Chomps, beat the Bite Man, beat him if that's your opponent, and go and ask for that Danny Garcia fight. Y'all got the pitch out, you slicing the neck. That'll be great for both of y'all careers. All you got to do is win. Bruh, if you need to block everything out, you need to go to the desert, man. You need to go to the forest, bro, like to the woods. You know what I mean? Living in a log cabin, you know what I'm saying? Grow a thick beard, you know what I mean? Don't talk to nobody for about 3 months and just train. Everything. This is the moment. This is the crossroads. You are at the crossroads, man. At this point, like the goofy stuff and the popularity stuff kept him afloat to this point. But he can't keep losing, bro. You can't just keep entertaining people. Think you're going to make everybody laugh. This is a boxing career, bro. You're not a stand-up comic. And this is where the rubber going to have to meet the road. This is it, bro. You got to go super saiyan, super hard. You need to get off social media, shut down your Twitter, shut down your Instagram. I know you're trying to stay popular and to do the TMZ. Shut it all down, bro. This is crunch time. You lose, I don't see nothing else. You're gonna be a charity case, bro. I'm telling you. See what the fam time on. Tell me where I'm going wrong if I'm going wrong, y'all. Let's see. Light lit up. What's up, family? He says, yo, man, Broner needs psychological help and Jesus. Damn, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, I hope the brother get it together, man. I hope he get it together. He needs to get back into the gym soon for 147 if he is going to go early 2021. Yeah, bro, he ain't been, I mean, I've been seeing some little videos and he looked like he been working out, man, but it looked like that drinking, man. You can look at him in the face and see how much the drinking is really took a toll on him, dog. I just wonder how far, man, and how much, you know what I mean? He got to let his hands go if he ain't never let his hands go ever before. If it ain't never. Bruce says, yo, man, it parallels with Mike Tyson's role. Man, you right. I mean, that man literally, Adrien Broner, sat on Instagram and told everybody I went through $30 or $40 million. He since pulled that video, though. I'm sure somebody called him and said, bro, if you don't get that video off, man, what are you doing? He had the nerve to say, and he ain't blame nobody but himself. Y'all remember that video if y'all ain't see that video. He ain't blame nobody but himself, but he's like, yo, I ran through 30, 40, or $40 million. I remember when Adrien Broner was doing so good that he told Jay-Z to suck his, you know what I'm talking about? When Jay offered him, what, $40 million, I think it was, $40 million for like 4 or 5 fights or something like that. And he told Jay-Z to suck his, and then when Eddie Hearn tried to sign him, he put the deal on social media. Like, this is where Eddie Hearn sent me. Man, we are way removed from those days now, ain't we? Remember those days? When Adrien can boss up like that and put the deals, $10 million. What is this? $10 million for 3 fights? $40 million. Are you tripping? You tripping? He would love to have that right now, wouldn't he? Just a piece of it. Damn. Fall from grace. I just hope he knows who his friends is. I just hope he knows who his friends. A lot of people out there saying that Floyd Mayweather should throw him a bone. And Floyd Mayweather, instead of fighting Paul Jake, should be fighting Adrien Broner. I thought this years ago. I said this a couple years ago. I was like, hey, Adrien Broner, call out Floyd Mayweather. I've been sitting here saying this forever. Why didn't you just call out Floyd and go for the big fight when it was hot? When he fought Ashley Theophane, that was Floyd's fighter, right? He was going through Floyd's fighters. He was getting called into the doghouse, but he was so, I don't know, man, and acting like a little fangirl, sitting in his car ready to commit suicide, mad because Floyd don't call him and all that. You want to act like a fangirl instead of, you should have challenged that man. Now look how Floyd treating you. You should have challenged that man. You called him out once, I remember. I was so turned up that night, y'all. Man, I was turned up. When that night when, man, Adrien Broner called out Floyd, and he tried to cover it up, man, you got to see me in some chess or some checkers or something like that. Nah, bro. You should have kept that energy right there. You was right on the money. Right. Floyd walked up to that ring. He had to clap his hands. There was nothing he could say. He had to wait until he ran back to his hotel room and got in front of Fight Hype and gave Fight Hype and called Adrien Broner everything but a child of God. Or AB, what did that stand for? Always broke? Yeah, you didn't say that in front of AB, but he ran back to the nearest camera. He called up Floyd Hype, you know what I'm saying? And they got his word out. But, man, I was so proud of Adrien Broner that night. I was so proud. I was so proud. We so far away from there, man. We are so far away from there. Damn, D-Lo say, yo, man, the Brush and Broner had a little fallout after the Maidana fight. I got the interview with the Brush on my channel a few months back. Salute to the Brush, man. Hey, yo, man, and Pops, man. You know what I'm saying? My man Broner he need that Brush back, man. You know, ever since he stopped messing with that Brush, bro, he even got worse and worse. Damn, man. Salute to the Brush, man. Salute to the Brush. He don't train serious. God give him talent to someone who deserves it. Yeah, he had it. He had it all, bro. He had everything laid out for him. You know, he believed into the machine. The machine moved him a little incorrectly, but he believed in the machine. They made him skip over a whole weight class. You know, it just really, man, it tears at me every time I see my man like this. Y'all don't understand, dog. The night I decided to start doing YouTube videos was when he fought Marcos Maidana. That was the night, bro. I was like, Slim, when it was building up to that fight. I'm sorry. Right after the Paulie Malignaggi situation. I was like, oh, hey, I'm messing with the kid. I like how he was carrying himself. He was a new breath of fresh air. You know, at that point, all of the interviews and stuff was building up to that moment. Y'all don't remember back then, man. Like Adrien Broner, when he was at 35, they was grooming him for that 47 moment. So back then, all of the, man, I used to love his interviews. He used to be doing interviews while hitting the bag. You know what I mean? He'll be hitting the bag, boom, boom, just steadily talking. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, I like this kid, man. He was a different person back then. He had a different look in his eye. Different twinkle in his eye, man. And then my man wanted to turn into MC Broner. MC Broner, you know what I'm saying? That's my man. That's my man. You know what I mean? Yeah, Broner needs that Rocky IV training, say D-Lo. Yeah, without a doubt. Go into Siberia somewhere, you know what I mean? Putting logs on your back, grow a beard, bro. You know what I'm saying? Get a dog, you know what I mean? Get a husky, you know what I mean? The one that keep the hot cocoa up under their neck, bro, and just be running through the mountains, you know what I'm saying? Nobody around, you got snow all in your beard, you know what I mean? That's how you supposed to be carrying it, Joe. You know what I mean? Damn. Man, I hope ABI, man. I hope ABI. If he fights Ivan Redcat, man, I hope he gets that W, bro. He needs to get back into the win column. That's the most important thing for Adrien Broner right now. Just get back into the win column. Win, win, win. You can't lose, bro. You can't lose. All right, fam. Let's move on to the next issue, man. Let's move on to the next one. All right. Let's get to the Canelo talk, shall we? Let's talk about Canelo. Y'all seen me. I've been covering Canelo on the channel lately now. Thumbs up for the fam. Thumbs up for the fam. Now, y'all been seeing the Canelo talk lately. You know, I know the Canelo fans ain't happy with me right now, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You know, main man got to talk that real spiel all day. So check this out. Here we go. Hooking up Canelo again. God damn, I just talked about this, man. Hooking up Canelo. Y'all want Canelo on the pound for pound #1 list, but he gets all of the hookups known to man. No one gets these hookups. Here we go with another one. Oh, man, what are you talking about? He's the WBC franchise champion. He can move up or down and fight for any title that he won in any weight class. Yeah, I know. Canelo can get hooked all the way up. So for those who don't know, the WBC has announced that the winner of the Alverez-Smith will have to face the mandatory challenger in Adrien Yildirim. But so it's saying that, and it's also saying that let me say this, Eddie Hearn quote, I am delighted that the winner of this fight will be crowned the WBC world champion at 168 pounds. It says that Canelo Alvarez is the pound-for-pound best fighter on the planet, and Callum Smith is the #1 super middleweight on the planet. So it's fitting for the winner to proudly wear the green and gold belt on December 19th, end quote. So the WBC pretty much just added their vacated belt at 168 pounds to this particular fight. Now, this fight already had the WBA regular title, the WBA super title, and the Ring magazine because Callum Smith is recognized as the dude at 168. So now we're going to introduce the WBC title. Once again, Canelo fighting for a vacated title, just getting hooked all the way up. Just moving Adrien Yildirim out the way, you know what I mean? And they're going to throw into this with Callum Smith. Now, I'm just like, dog, this is a hookup if I ever seen it. Why can't Crawford get these hookups? Why can't no one else get these hookups but Canelo Alvarez? Oh, man, this is only right. He's the cash cow. Bro, miss me with all this, man. Every time I turn around, this dude is being hooked up, mostly by the WBC. Now, we know that Canelo Alvarez a few months ago had already requested to fight for that particular belt, but he requested to face Adrien Yildirim, who's been waiting in line. David Benavidez even came out and says, hey, why don't you just fight me for it? You know what I mean? I got stripped of it, sure, on the scales, but you can fight me for it and we can go back. Canelo ain't had nothing to say. Then all of a sudden they come out and they just throw it into this fight. I'm just tired of the hookups, y'all. Maybe it's just me. I'm just tired of the hookups. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Yeah, I thought Canelo versus Yildirim was all about Yildirim getting his shot. Turns out that was a lie. Facts. Yildirim is going to get the winner, allegedly, the winner of this. Now, y'all know daggone well, if Canelo Alvarez beats Callum Smith, there ain't no telling what weight class he going to fight at. He'll still hold on to his titles down at the lower weight class. You know what I'm saying? Which really is funny because this going to all lead into the Billy Joe Saunders stuff. He gets to hold on to his titles at 160, the WBC franchise belt, and what's the other one he has? He has the WB what? The WBA? I want to say, I think he got the WBA. But he keeps 2 of his titles down at 160. Ain't got to let nothing go. If he beats this guy, he's going to have 2 titles at 168 pounds. He just vacated the one at 175. The man got belts all over the place. All over the place. So Canelo has given himself so many options. Oh, you want to call a mandatory? Screw you. I'll go face this mandatory. You don't want me to fight that mandatory? I'll fight this mandatory. He's given himself options to pick and choose whenever, wherever, however. Anybody not named Charlo Andrade. Right? Not named Charlo or Andrade. So here we go. How do y'all feel about this? Let me see what the fam talking about. Yeah, I thought Canelo versus Yildirim was, we already read that. Yep. Good fight, says Doc. Yeah, it's a good fight. I think him and Callum Smith is a good fight. I think he beats Callum Smith. I like Callum Smith. But like Billy Joe Saunders says, Billy Joe Saunders has a quote out here on this particular fight that I find hilarious. I meant to put it up here. Billy Joe Saunders says, and I quote, Canelo would have been training since May for this fight. He would have had Smith in his eyesight from day one. It's been sprung on him at 5 or 6 weeks. They're very clever in how they work. If Smith has done his homework and prepared well, then I give him a good chance of winning the fight, end quote. So Billy Joe Saunders is accusing Canelo Alvarez of playing last-minute politics, saying that Canelo all along knew exactly who he was going to choose. But he went through the motions and killing all of this time and waited to the last minute to say, hey, I want to fight. Like he did with Sergey Kovalev. In Sergey Kovalev's case, he was literally willing to pull him out of the Anthony Yarde fight that was going to go down in a couple weeks. Remember? He was literally negotiating with Sergey Kovalev while Kovalev had a fight with Anthony Yarde. Caleb Plant says he wasn't going for it. You ain't going to come on me last minute and spring it on me and say, nah. Billy Joe Saunders said the same thing, but Billy Joe Saunders ain't trustworthy. I don't trust nothing that Billy Joe Saunders say. But I just find this funny, though. But that is a trick that Canelo did. So when we talk about the Charlo situation, when y'all say, Main Man, because y'all been dogging me with this one. Yo, Main Man. You, because y'all see my little graphic that I got floating around. He can fight the Smith brothers, but he can't fight the Charlo brothers. Oh, we can do the Smith brothers, easy work. When it comes to the Charlo brothers, 154 Charlo or 160 Charlo, nowhere to be found. He can go to 54 to fight Liam Smith. He can go to 68 to fight Callum Smith, but he can't fight neither Charlo. We got it. We got it. He leaves DAZN. I mean, he literally went through a lawsuit with DAZN, y'all. A lawsuit, a whole lawsuit, just to leave the network to go back to face Callum Smith. He was not leaving that network before he fought the Smith brothers. He is Canelo Smith. Now, y'all say, yo, Main Man, because I remember what Jamel said when him and Jamal was beefing, and Jamel let out the bag. Oh, you turned down the Canelo offer. Because y'all been hitting me with that left and right. Yo, his own brother said that he turned down the offer. Yeah, but you know, when Canelo, you just don't know what the small print is. I mean, I've heard when you got all of these fighters complaining about one thing or another that Canelo does, how am I not to believe that there was something in it, something that he sent to Charlo, if it was something there? This is Oscar De La Hoya at the time we was talking about. The same dude who tried to lock Earl Spence Jr. in with options. Facts. Earl just caught it. So how am I not? I mean, what makes me think that he didn't send Charlo something that says, yo, if you beat me, then you got to stay over here on DAZN for your next 4 fights. Or if you beat me, you are now a Golden Boy fighter. You know, Oscar's been feeling some kind of way since he's lost all his fighters. He's been looking for every trick in the book to get him back. They ain't messing with Oscar, though. So, I mean, yeah, he sent Charlo something allegedly. His own brother said it, right? So I got to believe what his brother telling him. I mean, I'm sure that Oscar's going to come out and say, hey, we sent him something. You heard what his brother said. Yep, his brother wasn't lying. Yep, I was right there. You know how I know that they sent it? Because I'm the one that did it. Yep, I'm the one that sent it. I stamped it and everything. We sent all of that stuff to Charlo, and he turned Canelo's fight down. What's the small print, though? I wonder about that. You don't wonder? Y'all just don't think that. Y'all just think that Oscar and Canelo are just straight up clean, squeaky clean. They just send squeaky clean contracts. His last 4 attempts at a fight, they all complained. They all had one reason or another to not want to fight Canelo. Something was baked in. How does everybody not want to fight Canelo? The cash cow. How does Caleb Plant says no, we're not doing it like that? How does Billy Joe says no, we're not doing it like that? How does even Gennady Golovkin, when Canelo came around and says, all right, I'm ready. Remember Golovkin like, hold on, I already got a fight scheduled with Zermita. What's his name? I already got a fight scheduled with Zermita. How you gonna come along? We got a contract. We already doing business and we ready to go, and you coming along telling me something you ready to fight? Hell nah. Everybody got hip on Canelo. I'm supposed to believe that the Charlo was legit. The Charlo offer was legit. I mean, Golovkin, Billy Joe Saunders, you know what I mean? Caleb Plant. All of these people had something to say about how Canelo ordered their fight. But I'm supposed to believe that he sent a fair offer to Charlo. Okay. All right. I'll believe it. If you want me to. Tell me where I'm going wrong. 5 and 6 weeks is not cool, though, says Doc Sidious. Exactly. Those are just some of the tricks that Canelo likes to play. And people are well on it. Canelo gets hooked up. This is what keeps him off my and many others' pound-for-pound list. It's not so much that he's a bad fighter. You know, the PED situation and all that stuff. Like I said, I don't hold him that against him for his entire career, but it is a major stain. It's a major, major stain. And most importantly, people know you're cherry-picking. And people know you're being hooked up. Once again, you and the WBC are peas in a pod, champ. You and Mauricio Suleiman. Disgusting. But he's y'all pound-for-pound fighter. He's y'all pound-for-pound fighter. I don't understand it. What's up, Demetrius? What's going on, fam? What's good? What's good? What's good, man? You know, just talking this real spill on a Friday night. You already know. You already know. So it is what it is here, man. WBC hooking up Canelo Alvarez, so he'll now be fighting in a unification match. Unification, because I didn't see the WBA regular and the WBA super as a unification. I mean, that's just funny to me. But now it's an official unification. You got the WBC, the WBA regular, the WBA super, Ring Magazine title. It's like a beautiful fight for Canelo Alvarez, all for the Smith brothers. He has given the Smith brothers the biggest fight of his career. All of these belts, you know what I'm saying? All of this recognition, all for Callum Smith. Canelo, you are the man. You made the WBC. You just made them just give you here you go. Fight for this belt. Avni Yodrum, see you later. You go somewhere, bro. You ain't with the right people. It is what it is. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. If it was somebody else, maybe I wouldn't even think twice about it. The fact is that every time I turn around, Canelo being hooked up. That's what makes it so bad. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion. So, we'll see what it is, man. All right, to the next one, right? To the next one. We're going to get to the good one in a minute, man. Let's move on to this Billy Joe Saunders situation right here. I find this hilarious. Now, listen to what Billy Joe Saunders said. Now, we know Billy Joe Saunders just beat up on Martin Murray, right? So now Billy Joe Saunders is in the WBO is saying that they're going to, if Eddie Hearn, I guess, gives them the green light, as you can see the statement right here from Paco, the head of the WBO. If Eddie Hearn gives them the green light within 10 days, then let there be known who basically Billy Joe Saunders is going to fight. Is it going to be Canelo or Andrade? So they got 10 days to get back to the WBO and let them know who the opponent's going to be. Now, you got Billy Joe Saunders coming out here saying that, Demetrius Andrade, check this out, champ. Let's make this happen. You know what I mean? Listen to what he's telling him to do, though. Vacate your title. Come on, move up. And then we can get this cracking for February. Yes, mate, stop all the S talk. We can just get it on. So vacate this week. Make it official. You're stepping up. And February sounds good. And bring your B too. Bring your bitch too. Damn. They went all the way in. But hold on, though, Billy Joe. Why does Demetrius Andrade got to vacate his title this week? We just got finished talking about Canelo Alvarez having titles in 50 divisions. 50. You want the man to vacate his title. Now, I'm sure that Demetrius Andrade got a smarter head on his shoulders than to listen to Billy Joe Saunders. I'm sure. Now, we know what the situation is. The reason that Billy Joe Saunders is saying that, for anyone who doesn't know, is because Liam Williams is waiting in the wings to get an opportunity at that WBO title at 160 pounds. Liam Williams is a MTK global fighter. That's right, I said it. And so is Billy Joe Saunders. It's a brotherhood around this joint. It's a brotherhood. So the MTK global fighter in Billy Joe Saunders wants the MTK global fighter in Liam Williams to get an opportunity. You better not do nothing, Andre. Don't vacate anything. You ain't got to vacate at all. Hopefully the WBO won't put you in a stupid situation. You know what I mean? So Eddie will have to contact the WBO to let them know, right? Now, let's say Billy Joe Saunders play games. You already know how this already go. If it goes down to a purse bid with the WBO, then you're talking about a 75-25 split. So you will hope that they can come to an agreement, right? What if they don't come to an agreement? What if Demetrius Andrade listened to Lunchbox, the guy who's put all kind of substances up his nose, turning into super shredder, you know what I mean? The dude who messing with homeless people, lunching out here, got his kids kicking grown men, doing all kind of wild stuff. And you listen to this dude throwing chicken at Deontay Wilder and Nando's or whatever, then running up out of there. Y'all remember Billy Joe throwing chicken at Bahamas? Man, Billy Joe, a wild little dude. And I know Demetrius Andrade ain't paying this man no attention. You can sign on the dotted line. You can sign on the dotted line, Demetrius, and you ain't got to worry about vacating anything. You let the WBO tell you what's up. You don't let this dude tell you. I don't like how he talking like that. See, I'm already noticing how the MTK Global people are doing power plays with the WBO. Just look around. I better look through the rankings of the WBO, and you'll see it's littered with MTK Global fighters. They coming up with the WBO. It's littered and it's flooded with MTK Global fighters. And they trying to make power plays. And they trying to look out for one another. Demetrius Andrade, and that was crazy because, Andrade in his last fight was supposed to come up to 68 to get used to the weight class. And he did say at one time that after his next fight, he was going to vacate. He did say that and move up to 168. He did say that. But why do you have to do that if Canelo don't have to do that? That's all I'm asking. I don't see Canelo vacating that one dang title. He got titles all over the place. He got titles in 25 different weight classes. But you got to vacate. So I'm needing Demetrius Andrade to hold on to his WBO until you sign on the dotted line, got it squared right, dead to rights that Billy Joe Saunders will be in the ring on this day at this time, because this man ain't trustworthy and he looking out for his homeboy. It's crazy. See, Demetrius Andrade, your little dumbass then ran over there, and then you are surrounded by MTK Global Fighters, and they don't want nothing to do with you. And they don't want to have nothing to do with you. You over there with Gennady Golovkin, who don't want to fight you. Canelo, who don't want to fight you. Billy Joe trying to run a swindle on you, bruh. They all over there just playing with Demetrius Andrade. You know what I mean? Look, if you get this fight, bro, I need you to whoop his ass. I need Billy Joe Saunders' ass whooped. And I favor Demetrius Andrade in that fight all day. I think the length, I think the boxing IQ, I think the lack of power from Billy Joe Saunders, I think all of that will come into a play, and I'm leaning towards Demetrius Andrade. I think he's the better fighter and the better boxer. I'm telling y'all, man. Billy Joe Saunders just rubs me the wrong way, dog. In so many ways, man. In so many ways. Israel Diaz says, Callum Smith is a really good, solid boxer. He has devastating power, and he knows how to use his jab and cross. Absolutely. He put a good whooping on George Groves, man. I still remember that fight like it was yesterday. He does got a good jab. He does got a good right hand. I just think that he's tailor-made for Canelo Alvarez. It's not a knock against Callum Smith. Styles make fights. And I just think that in this case that it's tailor-made for Canelo. Small to get right up under Callum Smith. Now, I believe Callum is much stronger than Rocky Fielding. He beat Rocky Fielding, right? So he's also much stronger than Rocky Fielding. Much more better fighter than Rocky Fielding. But I think Canelo would execute the exact same game plan, and that's get up under the jab and work the body. And I think once he makes it to the inside on these tall, lanky fighters, well, it's going to be a problem. His hands are fast, and Canelo is a combination puncher. And he's a devastating body puncher. I think all of these things, everything that Callum Smith does, plays right into the hands of Canelo Alvarez, just like Rocky Fielding. And he knows this. He knows this. He knows that, yeah, I make him face a tall fighter in Callum Smith, but a tall fighter like David Benavidez with fast hands, very coordinated hands, and very coordinated combination punching, oh, I think not. That's a problem. We're going to take a pause right there. See, Canelo, you're a free agent now, brother. You got no excuses. Hashtag no excuses. You are a free agent. You can't blame Oscar. It seems to me you still comfortable doing business with Eddie over there. You want to fight all the DAZN fighters. What the hell did you leave him for? You got PBC right there, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, then you go to the zone and still don't say Andrade's name. Man, Canelo be pissing me off, man. He be pissing me off. I'm sorry. Shh. This dude, you go back to the zone just to face, you don't even think about Andrade. Man, it just, yo, man. I'm just, boxing 2020 just got me in the twilight zone. I got my brother Orlando Finney in the building. What's up, fam? What's up, man? Salute to you, man. I seen that comment you left me earlier, man. Much love, man. What's good, man, and my fellow boxing enthusiasts. Let's talk boxing. You already know it, family. You already know it, man. D-Lo say, yo, man, nah, Canelo, if applying the Canelo formula, Floyd fought many guys younger than him. Yeah, absolutely. 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 He's doing the Canelo formula, huh? Oh, Canelo is applying applying the Canelo formula, Floyd fought many younger guys than him. Yeah, man. But we just want to see Canelo fight the best, family. We just want to see him fight the best. You know what I'm saying? It's all good, Dolph. That's why I'm here, fam. I'm going to keep you up, man. I'm going to keep you up. But that it is what it is, man. I just think that Demetrius Andrade better wise up. And we don't want to see no stories coming out about Demetrius Andrade vacating his title, all because Billy Joe Saunders told him to. I'm sure that he's willing to know what's going on. Eddie Hearn has got 10 days to let the WBO know if they're going to go forward with this. So maybe that's the one thing that you would think should assure Demetrius Andrade that is real talk. If he vacates his title, that's not good enough. That's not good enough, because when you do this, it can go to a purse bid where a 75-25 split because Billy Joe Saunders is the champion. Demetrius Andrade may not want to accept that. Now he has no title, and he has no one to run to hear his cries. So don't you vacate that belt, even if you get the fight. You let the WBO tell you to get rid of that belt. Until then, you hold on to it with your kung fu grip, champ, all day. You know what I'm saying? Real spill. Let's move on, man. Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on. All right. So this is the big one here. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Anthony Joshua versus Kubrat Pulev. Heavyweight title fight going down tomorrow. It is prediction time. It is prediction time. It is prediction time. You know, I've been doing a lot of homework on Kubrat Pulev, man. Been doing a lot of homework. You know, it's been a minute since I even studied up on Kubrat Pulev. And I honestly forgot how honestly good he really is. You know, I don't know, because it's been a minute since I sat down and watched his fights, but I went back through the Shishore fight. I went back through the Huey Fury fight. I went back through, of course, the Klitschko fight. And a couple other ones, man. And I honestly forgot how really he's actually not that bad of a heavyweight, man. He's actually a pretty damn good fighter. I mean, well, for the heavyweight division, for today's heavyweight division. All right, now I'm not comparing him to the halls of the heavy, but for today's heavyweight division, he's not a bad fighter. Bouncy, kind of athletic, much more coordinated than I give him than I thought. Pretty stiff jab, real good 1-2. Likes to do the jab and grab thing that Klitschko used to do. You know what I mean? Strong, big fighter. This is actually a very interesting matchup. Much more interesting than I originally gave it credit for. I will admit that. It is an interesting matchup. It is an interesting matchup. Now, according to Kubrat Pulev, he says, and I quote, "For me, this is much more important than becoming a champion for money. This means everything if I achieve it. I don't think it is my last chance, but it is an important moment. The one time that I lost to Klitschko, I was too young and too green," end quote. I'm going to stop right there. Now, when you go back and watch that Klitschko fight, he was shaky and you can tell he was nervous. I mean, my man was just like jittery. He was jittery as hell, like he couldn't really stand still. I mean, Klitschko was the slowest. I mean, that wasn't even that great of a performance, I thought, by Klitschko. Klitschko wasn't doing nothing special in that fight. Big, just sloppy and slow and doing the jab and grab, you know what I mean? It was a grab fest. It was literally a grab fest. And, you know, he snuck a sneaky little left hook in there. Then after that, he started landing big right hands and so on and so forth. But I thought that Pulev was very nervous. And I look at his other performance after that where he's a little bit more composed. Much, much better fighter. Much better fighter. I thought his best performance was probably the Chisora fight. I think I would give him credit for that being probably his best performance. But, yo, he's active. He's aggressive. I mean, actually, Pulev is not that bad, man. And interesting to know because of the version of Anthony Joshua that we might be looking at. Now, I don't think this is going to be the boxer version. This is not going to be Andy Ruiz 2 version of Anthony Joshua. Y'all see the size in the weigh-in. He's big. He's big. He is not the lean, mean Anthony Joshua. I don't know if the criticism got to him about the way he fought in that rematch or what it was, but he's big. He's big. So, wonder how that's going to play out. Kubrat Pulev is athletic. He is not a sloth. He is not this stand plotter and just stand forward. No. He moves. He bounces. And it's going to be interesting to see how this goes if this goes late. It really is, man. It really is. He says that, and I quote, "Before Klitschko, I was relaxed, but there were many problems. My promoters were talking about my tickets and money. They were mistakes because I was not only thinking about training and strategy for the fight, it just did not work. This week has been amazing because we are in the bubble and people want to see me, but I tell them that I am in the bubble," end quote. So he's saying that he got no distractions around him. He got no distractions. He's totally focused. Y'all see him in the weigh-in? He was turned up, lasered in. I think he's going to give a good show of himself. I really do. And I think the way these two styles are going to collide, it's going to be real interesting. But I really think that Kubrat Pulev is going to give a good showing of himself. Some are saying, yo, he's up there in age. He's 39 years old. That's not old for a heavyweight. I don't know who told y'all that. This is the heavyweight division. These are not welterweights. 39 years old is not that crazy old for a heavyweight. It's not. Maybe by today's standards, I guess. I don't know. But that's not crazy old for a heavyweight fighter where one punch can change the course of a fight. the heavyweight division, the land of giants. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Now, another thing that's starting to come out about this is that Anthony Joshua and the way he's talking about Tyson Fury. Now, y'all already know my theory on this. I already says that I think it's going to be Wilder Fury 3. My mind is already made up. I've seen all I've had to see. Y'all can check my videos on it. It's, to me, done. It's just we just wasting time, stalling for time, waiting for crowds, stuff like that. That's what I think. But listening to Anthony Joshua, I think he kind of leaning on my side now. The way he talking about Tyson Fury, he talking like, yo, maybe it will, maybe it won't. I ain't really check. He even went as far as to say in one recent interview, it may not happen sometime. It's going to happen sometime in the next few years. These are the words of Anthony Joshua. Let's look at this. When he's even talking about Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury, he says this, and I quote, "When I look at Fury, a great talent, but I don't know whether he's coming or going. I don't know if he's going to fight Wilder, or if he's going to fight Adrien Cabiel, or if he's not going to fight Cabiel. He announced he was going to fight me, and then the deal didn't get signed, and we're not fighting," end quote. You see what I'm saying? He don't know what's going on right now. He's in the dark. UK, y'all came to me and told me that this was going to happen. Why would they let the thing expire? You know, it's about Deontay Wilder didn't want to fight, and it ain't going to happen. It was all to save face. That's the reason for the mediation and the arbitration and the declamation of the proclamations. He just doing it all for nothing, just to save face. But yeah, I got Anthony Joshua now in the mixing bowl. He don't know what's going on. Just 2 months ago, he was seeming to be very sure. Eddie Hearn seemed to be very sure. We seen pictures of them automatically, all together and cooling out and, on vacation or wherever it was. What happened to that talk? Now Anthony Joshua's in the twilight zone. He don't know what the hell is going on. He says he don't know if Tyson Fury is coming or going. So what's really good? I think we got a third fight. This goes also in conjunction with, I'm sure y'all heard the news come out today about Adam Smith, the head over there at Sky Sports. Adam Smith comes out with a quote when he's talking to Johnny Nelson. He says, and I quote, he says that the gossip around the London boxing scene right now is that Deontay Wilder is preparing for Tyson Fury, end quote. Those are the words of Adam Smith, head of Sky Sports. Sky Sports is the same network of broadcaster that put this guy on. So why is he saying that? Maybe that's why Anthony Joshua feels that way. Maybe Anthony Joshua is saying he don't know if Tyson Fury is coming or going because he opens up the newspaper and see Adam Smith saying word around the campfire is that they preparing to fight each other. Maybe he feeling some kind of way. He ain't heard nothing from Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury was supposed to be at the fight. Tyson Fury doesn't come to the fight. Oh. As if he really was going to ever go. Y'all ain't hip to what's going on. The fight is gone. The fight is going to happen. ESPN reaches in and pulls him off that Cabiel fight. Get up off that stage. We are not paying you to fight bum number 50. No, not going to happen, champ. You're going to get in there and earn this money this time around. And this ain't the show for you. So guess what? We pulling it. You don't think he was probably a little pissed off behind that? I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Get Donnie on the phone. Get Donnie on the phone. Y'all know what it is. You ain't going nowhere, man. And this man just starting to get hip. So now he's looking at Alexander Usyk. And he's saying, you know what, Alexander Usyk, let's make it happen. That's just the way it's looking. See, I think eventually it's going to set in with Lunchbox over here, Anthony Joshua. It's going to set in eventually to say, you know what am I doing? I can go and face Alexander Usyk, let them do whatever they doing. I can go and fight Alexander Usyk, which still is a popular fighter. It's still going, and people going to give me a pass on it because it's a mandatory. No one's going to judge me for fighting little Usyk, right? I can go and do that, get that big popular fight, make a big noise about it, and then get the winner. I'm telling you, he's going to start thinking like, what am I thinking about? Why am I rushing this? It ain't like I can't get next. I'm Anthony Joshua. That fight ain't going nowhere. And that's all Americans has been trying to tell a lot of the UK fans. It ain't like that people ain't want, we know y'all want undisputed. We know y'all want the big UK brawl, the greatest heavyweight UK brawl in history. We know y'all want that. But it ain't time yet. It ain't time. The war ain't over. Wait till the war's over and then make your claim. You know what I mean? That's all we saying. Let's keep it pushing. Let's keep it pushing. So he just don't know. So now, when it comes to Alexander Usyk, he says, and I quote, "Then you have got Usyk, and he seems to be just straight." Oh, he's just loving Alexander Usyk. He seems to be just straight. You hear he is fighting Derek Chisora, and he fights him. You hear that he is fighting Chaz Witherspoon, and he fights him. I go off on people who are serious. If Fury is serious and keen, then the fight will happen. Honestly, I'm keen to test myself. He's supposed to have the real boxing IQ, so it's going to be a really good challenge. I'm keen to compete with him, no problem. But whether he's ready, that's a whole nother story because of the issues he's faced during his career. So, end quote. So now that's a shot. That's a shot. See, the thing is, Anthony Joshua knows exactly if Tyson Fury doesn't make it to their fight, the reason why. But he's insinuating that it could be other things. That last sentence, he says, that's the whole other story because of the issues that he's faced during his career. I've even heard Bob Arum kind of chime in on that. Like, yo, we got to get Fury back in action because of his mental condition and because of his mental health. We can't have him sitting around on the couch. Yo, man, at the end of the day, Anthony Joshua, I think, man, he's looking at Alexander Usyk. You know what I'm saying? He's looking at Alexander Usyk. He says that, and I quote, "In my heart of hearts, I don't want to drop a belt. I'll fight Usyk first if I have to. But I think that the governing body should overrule a mandatory if they have a fight for an undisputed champion," which they could. And I must say, they could. They really could. But, in Alexander Usyk's case, it's a little tough. When you've been the mandatory for 2 years, you know what I'm saying? You were the super champion. You were formerly undisputed champion. You move up to heavyweight. You take on to become the mandatory, and you never got a mandatory shot. And he stood out the way he took step aside before. So you've been waiting as long as Alexander Usyk been waiting. Things may be a little different. Maybe in most cases you can say, yeah, of course, this trumps that and that. But the man's been waiting for how long? In the WBO, how they going to keep justifying it? Yeah, unifications trump mandatories. But does it trump a 2-year mandatory is the question. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But according to Alexander Usyk ain't budging. He said he don't want no step aside money. And this man is saying, well, if it comes down to it, then guess what? That's exactly what I'm going to do. He's also about Deontay Wilder. Anthony Joshua says, and I quote, "He is another challenger. The offer still stands. When he's ready and he's man enough not to lie and be real." Then he goes on and says, "It wasn't nice when they were trying to tarnish my name. I'll be good to stop PR stunts and get a fight underway," end quote. It'll be good to stop PR stunts and get a fight underway, end quote. So he's telling Deontay Wilder that the offer still stands. Man, look, man. Anthony Joshua, you need to just go somewhere right now, bro. You just need to go somewhere to the side and just worry about your fight coming up in Alexander Usyk. You throwing this out here to Deontay Wilder, trying to distract him right now in the middle of all this, like you tried to do building up to the second fight. You tried to get involved with that. When you and Eddie Hearn got left out in the cold, y'all were throwing offers. You were saying $100 million. You were saying 50-50. You were saying all of the things that we've always wanted to hear you say. All of a sudden. You know what I mean? All because you got left in the cold because Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder was doing their thing. And you sitting over there struggling with Andy Ruiz. So you came out of the blue and, I'm offering you the biggest deal of your career. I'll give you 50-50 and this and that and this and that. Trying to get involved, even for this particular fight. Talking heavy about Tyson Fury and Wilder leading up to this fight because nobody wasn't really talking about this. Let's just keep it 100. So, Anthony Joshua, you just need to go off somewhere, bro. Deontay Wilder will get to you when he gets to you. Now, the statement that he's talking about is when Deontay Wilder came out and said, well, Tyson Fury, I gave you your chance. I gave you your opportunity, and I had other offers on the table that I could have took. I could have took the Joshua offer. This would lead Joshua to go down and say, see, I told you so. I told everybody. I told you. I was right. I offered him an offer. He didn't take it. Now, that ain't what Deontay Wilder said. He said there was an offer on the table to fight you. No one never said that the offer wasn't on the table. Our problem was it came too damn late. Most people's problem about it was how late did it come? What about back in the day when you was talking about 12 million and 15 million and all of this other jazz? But then all of the proper offers and the right deals came in the last minute when him and Tyson Fury ready to rock and roll. That's the way the game played. It's all about saving face in 2020. Thank goodness for cats like Mainman Mademan. Because it's always about saving face. Like we don't know what the hell is going on. You know what I mean? Real spill. I'm going to take a minute to go through some comments. Yeah, he is. He is with Tibbs. But I also thought, yeah, Doc, he is with Tibbs. I just seen them working out together. But I also thought he was working with Ben Davison, man. You know, I don't know if he tossed Ben Davison or what the heck it was, man. I don't know. It's like after fighters work with Ben Davison for a fight or two, they toss him to the side, man. You know what I mean? Martin Murray fight was a joke. Tell me about it. That was a sparring match. Martin Murray need to retire, man. He was 30 versus Klitschko. Yeah, he was already up there versus Klitschko, but he was nervous, man. He was clearly nervous in that Klitschko fight, man. Clearly nervous. What's up, Muhammad Ali in the building? What's up, family? Champ, anything short of an AJ knockout inside 4 to 6 rounds will be disappointing. Now, AJ wants to make a statement. He should stop Pulev. We about to get the styles in a minute. He should stop Pulev. If you want to make a statement, you want people talking about you again. You want to get out of the Andy Ruiz dead zone. Because that's all everyone talks about now with Anthony Joshua. Andy Ruiz, Andy Ruiz, Andy Ruiz. Oh, I can't believe this happened. Now, I'm going to tell y'all like this. I differ with a lot of the UK brethren. I'm not like that with him, with AJ on the Andy Ruiz situation like y'all are. Nuh-uh. I think it was a lucky punch. I think it's exactly what AJ said it was. It was a punch from the gods. And I don't know if it can be replicated. I just don't know. I thought that AJ was doing a fine job up into the punch. You know what I mean? A punch that he just could not get his footing back. His equilibrium was off. Next fight, if he would have came back, I believe, this is just me. Maybe I don't agree. Even if he would have came back in the second fight, same physique and size, because everyone made it like he had to become this Muhammad Ali type boxer. If he would have came back with the same physique, I still thought he would have beat Andy Ruiz. I didn't think Andy Ruiz did anything super special. He just landed a punch that was perfectly placed, perfectly executed, a punch from the gods. I thoroughly believe it. I thoroughly believe it. And at that point, up until that point, he was cruising. He was cruising, so I just don't think so. I think AJ is a very good fighter. I think he's a very good fighter. He has a lot of physical limitations, in my opinion. The muscles has always been a problem for him. It always makes him gas out later in the fights. The muscle sucking up that oxygen. He's always had some issues going down the stretch. And most importantly, I ain't going to say he has a bad chin, but he has a shaky, I don't know if it's a shaky equilibrium, because he gets knocked down a lot and he gets buzzed up a lot. And it makes me do wonder, can Kubrat Pulev pull it off and actually hurt AJ? Many times have I seen him hurt to this point now. I even went back and watched the Carlos Chacon fight. Chacon even buzzed him up once or twice during that fight. So, I mean, Pulev is a good puncher. Damn good puncher. We about to get the styles, man. I don't know, man. It's going to be close. Much more closer than I originally thought. But if he wants to make the statement, like Muhammad Ali say, if you want to make the statement, if you want Deontay Wilder to talk about you again, if you want Tyson Fury to feel like he has to come to your fights again, because Tyson Fury just straight curried you, champ. And y'all was all happy. Eddie was all happy like a little fangirl. Oh, yeah, Tyson Fury's coming to the fight. That's what I heard. I heard Tyson Fury's coming to the fight. Man, Tyson come right back out like a day or two later like, nah, I ain't coming to the fight. I got something to do, man. You know, man, I got to put up Christmas lights, man. I ain't coming to the fight. Let everybody down. Let Anthony Joshua down. Let poor Eddie Hearn down. Oh, no. Without Tyson Fury in the building, who's going to be talking about our fight? It's going down in the afternoon here in America, y'all. It's going down in the afternoon, so I don't know. Before we get this styles, let me make sure I hit all the points that I need to hit here. I think we good. Oops. Yeah, I think we good. So yeah, man, that's just it's very unfortunate. Let me see. So on the mandatory, yeah, it looked like he's pretty much going there. Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. On his weaknesses, I did take some notes down about this. Now, this is what we was just talking about the Andy Ruiz situation. On his weaknesses, he says, and I quote, "Sometimes when things are going well, you just keep on working on your strengths. After my loss in New York, what people call weaknesses, I call strength, that I haven't identified yet. I saw the strengths that I had identified, what other people call weaknesses, and I enhanced them and I improved them, end quote. The one thing that I also want to give credit to Anthony Joshua is the way he took his losses. I was actually very impressed with the way he took his losses. He took them in stride. He took him in stride. He didn't cry. He didn't complain. He didn't make excuses. He went back to the drawing board. He made the proper adjustments that he thought was good enough for him to get through the rematch, and he did it. It was discipline. He showed a lot of discipline. He showed humbleness. And most importantly, I think he was totally relieved at that moment. Now he can breathe again. Now he can actually feel like a human. Because at first, y'all were treating him like a goldfish. You know what I mean? At first, y'all were treating him like a robot. At first, y'all was treating him like a project. When he lost to Andy Ruiz, he might have lost, but he had a chance to finally exhale and go back and get the cameras out of his face. And now have people, having all this pressure on his shoulder. Oh, he's got to be this and he's got to be that. Now he's not perfect no more. And so he don't have to act perfect no more. And so he can talk his little trash now. And so he can be a human. And that's one thing I've been noticing about Anthony Joshua. He's relaxed a lot. He's much more less, because he doesn't have these cameras swarming him and hounding him no more. He don't have the pressures of having to stay undefeated and to be the Adonis, to be in the greatest shape of his life, to look great on the scales, to be on top of the skyscrapers fighting because he got to be the machine. He don't have to do that no more. Because y'all know now that the man is a man. And good for him. He looks, I got to admit, when I see him today, he looks much more, how should I say, much more just calm, much more, he doesn't seem anxious no more. He doesn't seem like he's worrying about what people are saying about him or doing, or it's just like he doesn't even care no more. It's like them days are over. The best thing that happened to him for his mental health, I believe, and this may sound crazy, but the fact that he lost. Real spill. And look at Eddie. Now Eddie has got to try to rebuild him back to that level he was of popularity, but it's not resonating the same with a lot of people. Maybe to the UK, but not with a lot of other people, because they see that he's a man now. They see he's just Anthony Joshua. But I like him. Outside of the Wilder situation, I like him. You know what I mean? Muhammad Ali says, in time to tune into one of the best boxing channels on YouTube. Much love, family. Go live. Slightly biased towards Wilder, but he's their champion. I mean, former champion all day. Much love to Muhammad Ali. We still Team Bomb Squad over here all day. But if you Team Joshua, you bet to be here talking about you Team Joshua. If you Team Fury, I need you right here telling me, main man, Fury gonna come and bring that noise to Bomb Squad all day. Y'all already know. Let's get the styles. As for Kubrat Pulev, mover, like I said, solid, heavy jab. He throws it heavy. He puts the oomph into this jab. This is not a Joe Joyce jab that Kubrat Pulev throws. He throws that Klitschko-esque jab. He's very Klitschko-esque, to be honest with you. Just much more nimble and moves a little bit better on his toes than Klitschko. But very Klitschko-esque. Heavy jab, boom. Loves to do the jab and grab. I don't think that will have too much of an effect on Anthony Joshua, like he didn't try too much with Derek Chisora. Derek Chisora wasn't going to have it, but he tried it. Now, Anthony Joshua's a big boy. Holding Anthony Joshua, good luck with that. Most importantly, Anthony Joshua can throw well on the inside, especially that uppercut he likes to throw. He throws it very well. Now, of course, the uppercut did he put Klitschko down with that uppercut also? He likes to throw that, and he throws it damn good with a lot of aggression on the inside. So if this man start all that grabbing and trying to grab, Anthony has the ability to break up off him and throw some hard shots on the inside. He really does. And that's the one thing that put him on his ass with Klitschko. Klitschko snuck a sneaky little left hook in there. Sneaky little one. All that jabbing and grabbing. But Kubrat Pulev, like I said, he's going to make Anthony Joshua work. If Anthony Joshua wants to be the guy that's going to come forward, it's going to be Kubrat Pulev bouncing from the outside back to the inside, from the outside back to the inside. He's not a sloth. I don't know why people got this thing in their head like he's a Joe Joyce type dude. No, he's nowhere near that. He's active. He pops in and out. He throws a heavy jab, and he's down to tie up and wrestle with you on the inside. And he has a solid 1-2. A solid 1-2. Solid right hand. Solid right hand. Major defensive flaws, though. The jab finds a home with him all night because he keeps his hand too far out. When he throws the jab, he throws that Lennox Lewis type jab. That one that keeps the hand all the way out here. That way the distance is shorter. You know what I'm saying? He throws those kind of. So that allows his hand to be way out here. And he gets popped with jabs all day. I wonder how that's going to affect him with this guy. I like Anthony Joshua's jab. Very stiff, pole-like jab. Combination puncher that Anthony Joshua is. I like that about him as well. But he also leads with the jab, and he's very fundamentally sound. I can see him popping Pulev with that jab all night because Pulev keeps that hand out. Could he land a couple jabs on Anthony Joshua? Sure. But I think Joshua's is much more faster, much more stiff, and he gets full extension. I think that's going to be ripe for the taking on Kubrat Pulev. I think that jab is going to be working for AJ. AJ, good combination puncher. I wonder what the size is going to do. Now, he's not as big as he has been in the past, but he has grown. He is bigger than he was in the Andy Ruiz rematch. He's not nearly as lean from what I see. But if you look at the pictures that he got flashing across here, you will see he got a shirt on, but he still looks confined and a bit lean, but not as big as he used to be, but definitely not as small as he was in the Ruiz, I thought, in the Ruiz rematch. He's going to be strong in this fight. He's not too big. He's not overly big. So I don't know if he's going to wear himself down like we've seen in the past. Anthony Joshua, though, has this good thing of stalling for time in fights and getting that second win back. That second win that he gets his head together, he gets his win back together. He has a good way of stalling for time for 1 or 2 rounds. And once he get that second win back, he right back in it. That's how he put Klitschko down. He has a very good second win. Combination puncher, stiff jab, decent defense. Decent defense, shown us to be, he can be a mover. He showed that against Andy Ruiz, but Andy Ruiz ain't much to move away from. As for Kubrat Pulev, no, Kubrat can move too. I'm telling y'all, do not have this notion because he looks like this big sloth that he doesn't move. He does move. I've watched him now in many fights, popping in, popping out, doing that David Hay thing, jumping in, throwing hard shots, jumping out, 1-2, pop, pop. Put that stiff hard jab on you, boom, didn't want to grab you, tie you up, push you off him, hit that 1-2, pop, pop, bounce out. That's Kubrat. That's Kubrat Pulev. He does a lot of, he's not a sloth. He's not just there to be hit. His defense is loose because he keeps his hands so far out, but he's not that guy that's just going to stand and just throw sloth-type punches. No, that's not him. He has a lot of boxing ability. A lot. He can get under punches. Look at what he did against Hughie Fury. He was getting up under Hughie Fury's punches. And he was beating Hughie Fury's body all the way in. Pow, pow. He was giving him some hard shots on the inside. I like it. This is going to be an interesting fight, champ. This is going to be a very interesting fight. I think Anthony Joshua, he should pull this fight out. He should. I think his jab will be the key. His jab, and then just setting him up for that right hand. Do I see Anthony Joshua getting hurt in this fight? That is the question. There's a possibility. This is the heavyweight division. But I see Anthony Joshua winning this fight by knockout. I see him stopping Kubrat Pulev in about the 10th round. Maybe 9th to 10th round. I think the jab will be working. I think Kubrat Pulev is not going to be able to tussle too much with Anthony Joshua. Joshua will be a lot more stronger. He did a good job with Klitschko. But Joshua is a different type of strong. He's tank strong. I don't think that all of that wrestling and grabbing is going to affect him much. I think he's going to beat up Kubrat Pulev on the inside. But most importantly, I think he's going to keep the jab on him. And I think Kubrat Pulev is going to struggle with that jab. I think he's going to struggle with the jab. When he looks to get in there and grab up with Anthony Joshua, I see Anthony Joshua throwing hard shots downstairs, being the bigger, stronger fighter. Stamina, don't know what that's going to do for Anthony Joshua. I truly don't. I don't see him as big. I don't see him as bulky as he used to be. I don't think the oxygen is going to get sucked up as much. I think he's going to take that second win like he always does. Sometime midway through the fight, maybe around round 5 or 6, he likes to take a round or 2 off, kind of get his faculties back together. But I think he'll get right back on the job, right back on that jab, moving and jabbing, keeping him on the end of the jab. Every time he looks to grab, hitting him with hard shots downstairs. Boom, boom, boom. Uppercuts downstairs. But I think this is going to be an interesting fight. I think we're going to have some scary moments. It's the heavyweight division. But I think in the end, the jab is going to win this fight for Anthony Joshua. Kubrat Pulev keeps his hands too far out. Every time he tightens up, but he keeps that hand, he'll put that hand right back out there just to get that extra edge and pow, just try to lean into that jab. And he gets popped with jabs all the time doing that. I think Anthony Joshua should stop Kubrat Pulev. I think he stops him. What y'all say, fam? Fury was at the pub in his area watching it. Oh, is that what he was? Yeah, he out there thing, man, doing protests and all that stuff, man, down at the pub, man. Any inside news on Deontay? I want to see a return as soon as possible. Nothing right now, man. Only thing that they got going on is the mediation, arbitration, declaration of the proclamation. Nothing really too much. We heard Adam Smith just come out recently, like I just told you, and say that he heard that on the boxing scene around London, that Deontay Wilder is training for Tyson Fury. So that's what we know as far as we know. No one peekaboo these days like Mike Tyson. That would be ideal versus AJ. Pulev is too stiffy. Yeah, he's too stiff. He don't have that that crazy shit that Mike like to do. That side to side upper body movement to get up under punches. Throw that uppercut downstairs. Throw that right hook downstairs and come back up with the uppercut. That ain't Kubrat Pulev. You know what I mean? Kubrat Pulev is the guy that's going to keep that, like you say, that big stiff jab out there, hoping to land that stiff jab and then grab you. And then as he's grabbing you, hit you with that 1-2 as you're letting him go. That's what he loves to do. That's all he's hoping to do. That's all I think he's going to look to do it against Anthony Joshua. He's going to look to hit him with the jab and grab. Hit him with the jab and grab and try to stay close to him. And then as they're separating, throw shots at him. That's what I think he's going to look to do. I don't think that's going to prove to be successful. You know what I mean? I don't think that's the way to beat Anthony Joshua. You know what I mean? Dolph says if AJ loses, oh man, yeah, that will be echoed around the boxing world. It really would, man. That is my prediction for this fight. Anthony Joshua stops Kubrat Pulev. 10th round. Let's say 10th round. I said 9th or 10th round. 9th or 10th round, Anthony Joshua stops Kubrat Pulev. No way in the world that Kubrat Pulev's hands will get back in time to stop Anthony Joshua's jab and right hand all day. So I think that's about all I got, fam. Let me see how long we've been going. Did we do my hour? We did my hour, man. We got in here and we did that hour on a Friday night. We talking boxing. Thank y'all, man, for everybody that hung in there with me on a Friday night. We were supposed to do this show yesterday. Got a little tied up. Y'all know how life can be this time of year. You know what I'm saying? So got a little tied up, so I had to get in there tonight. But I did want to get this prediction on wax before this fight happens tomorrow, because 2020 is one of those years where things are going crazy, and you don't want to be one of them dudes who don't get the prediction out and be like, dang, you know what? I knew that was going to happen. That's exactly what I was going to say. You know what I mean? You don't want to have one of those type things. So I just wanted to get something out there so I can know that when I go back and I look back at this 2 years from now, I can say, hey, I did call that fight for Anthony Joshua. You know what I mean? So that's all day, man. It's been a nice little ride with y'all tonight, man. Friday night, y'all go ahead and get your ladies, man. Chill on out, bun on out for the night, man. Get that bottle of wine, crack it open. Go find that good movie to watch. Go chill on out, man. Don't you think about your job. Don't you think about work. It is the weekend, champ. It is the weekend. I don't care if you got nothing to do. I don't care if you're going to be in the house bored. Then be bored. But you get some rest. You relax. You chill out, man. It's 2020, and Monday morning will be here before you know it. Much love to y'all all. Enjoy the fights tomorrow, man. I see y'all Sunday for We Talking Boxing. One more again. Hopefully we got some good topics, man. Boxing been kind of slow this week, but we got some more fights. I think this is the last big card before the year's out. You know what I mean? 2020 boxing will then end good riddance. You know what I'm saying? Bring on 2021. Hopefully boxing keeps on rolling, giving us the fights that we want to see. We're going to be right here staying on their neck about giving us the fight that the paying customers want to see. And we want Earl versus Crawford all day. We deserve it, especially y'all charging us $75, $80 for y'all cards. Man, y'all better give us the fights that we want. real spill, man. Thumbs up on the way out if you did not hit it on the way in. I catch up with y'all real soon. Salute to everybody if you that caught this live, and salute to everybody that catches this on the playback. And most importantly, salute to everyone in Mainman Mademan's boxing forum on Facebook. If y'all rock with me on YouTube, go rock with me over there too, man. We got a whole fam over there, man, all day. And until the next one, man, much love to y'all all. Have a good night, fam.